Hey guys, it's Trinity Ball here. We're doing another video late at night, and I gotta go on rant about Scorpion. Um, it's really good that I settled on Smoke for this game. You know, I was allured once again by the prospect of playing this character, and I would have been so upset had I tried to actually make the game on this character. So, in my opinion, next to Sub-Zero, this very well might be the worst character in the game, like second worst. Um, I think Scorpion is gutter trash. Like, he just doesn't work. Um, I know what they're going for with this character, but the problem is he's just not good enough at doing it. He gets mediocre reward off of everything. His hit confirming is terrible. His reward per hit is terrible. He's very bar intensive. Like, in my opinion, there's no redeeming quality about this character. Like, if you were going to play a character like this, you should just play Smoke instead. I've been saying Smoke is literally a better version of this character, and in my trying to play this character and make him work, I fully believe that now. Like, there's not even a matchup that I would pick this character in versus Smoke. There's just no way. So, what are the problems that I think this character has? So, he's a little too meat or hungry for damage. He doesn't really have a mid. I know that he is forward 3-2. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. But if you have a mid that's only 2 hits and the second hit is a reactable high on block that's not hit confirmable by itself, you don't have a mid in this game. I'm sorry. You just don't. Oh man. He's often punishable. He takes humongous risk to do what he wants to do. So, like, if you look at what he has, I think what this character is he is kind of like how I said he was an MK11, in that he's kind of a turtle character. He has the means to really blow you up for approaching, but he's not so good on defense. If he gets knocked down or cornered, he's not good up close at all. This is how I felt about him in MK11, and it seems like they're sticking with that design in this game. And that's fine if they're going to stick with that design, but he's just not good enough at doing this. When I can play Smoke, who has better offense, has better defensive options, has more damage for less resources per hit on average, has better Oki on knockdown, has a mid that at least has, I mean, it's low, but has a mid that at least has an actual mind game attached to it that can open people up pretty easily, even at the highest level. Like, I just don't know what to do with this character. So, first of all, I kind of want to go over, I guess we'll talk about what he does have that's good. Because he's not completely garbage. He's mostly garbage, but he's completely. So, he is back 3. Now, this is full combo punchable on block against a lot of characters, but it is this, like, almost full screen triplo that could be really useful against some characters. Especially other characters love to try to, like, backdash backward a lot, like Astra. You can use this to kind of control space, and you can use, like, Goro, for example, to make it plus and get the advantage somewhat. With Cyrax, we know that he can, like, play the chip game because of Death Spin, although he is definitely the worst Cyrax synergy character in the game, in my opinion. Definitely the worst as far as, like, characters that make practical sense. He has superb air-to-air conversions, like jump 111 nets you a pretty good chunk of damage every time you hit it, and then if you want to spend a bar, still get a pretty good chunk of damage. However, you're noticing it's still not Smoke damage. Smoke has a faster jump. He has a faster jump 1 and a faster jump 2 when he jumps up. And and he gets more damage, and he doesn't have to spend bar to achieve over 40%. This character has to spend bar for every conversion that he gets, to the point where, I don't know, man, I think it's pretty fucking awful. Like, I don't even know what you can do with this character right now. So, going back to what he does have that's good, he has this back to anti-air. This button is, like, really, really good. If someone tries to jump, they're dead. Like, you see them jump at all, from, like, even out here, you get spear, and then you get to do whatever you want, right? So his air denial is actually pretty good. He's better than Smoke in that regard. Smoke actually is kind of a problem consistently anti-airing depending on where someone's standing. But those are the only things I would tell you are good about this character. They'll say he has high damage, but no, he doesn't have high damage. If you do not crack low to mid 40s without spending any bar in this game, and if you don't do like upper 50s, only spending 1 bar, maybe 2 plus cameos, you don't have damage in this game. Damage in this game is all about efficiency right now, and if you're dumping resources to do damage, then no, I'm sorry, your character's garbage in this game right now. Whether or not the trend should be later on to rebalance the game so that everyone has that kind of efficiency, or to take that efficiency away, I don't know. I'm sure NRS is paying attention, because I do love this game quite a bit more than MK11, and I actually have faith they're going to do the right thing here. People are being doomers, I think, for no reason, really, when it comes to at least the gameplay side of things. But I know that they are afraid of making this character good, as they've been making him for the last couple of games, because they are afraid of people being upset, because if he could literally play just like a defensive wall play style and he was really good, it would piss off a lot of NRS players. That's for sure. I understand completely why they're very conservative about trying to make this character work. But I don't know, man. It's just not good enough. Like, it's just not enough with this character, in my opinion. Like, I wish I felt differently than that. But, like, I don't know. So let's talk about, like, some of his problems. So one of the things that really stands out about this character is his lack of tools. He has 3 strings in total, all with only one possible outcome. There's no mix-ups here. There's no stagger pressure here. All these have, like, huge block stun that's, like, pretty reactable. Okay. So 1-1-2 is like reactably flawless blockable. I believe you can even duck this, because for some reason they made 1-2 double high. Let's see. Okay, so jails, like, I don't know why this is even a double high, to tell you the truth, but I'll drop that for now. 2-1-4 is flawless block and regular block punishable. No reason for this to be the case at all. So let me show that off. It's -6 here, right? Let's see what happens when it's flawless blocked, just to make sure I'm not remembering incorrectly here. Okay, it's still -6. But what this does have is an armor gap in it. So I'll show that off. It has an armor gap. Like, why would I even do this, bro? For -6 on block, that's garbage. They give 3-3. Also has a gap in it at the very end. There's, like, no mind game here. You can't even bait it out with, like, death spin or anything like that. Can't do anything here. So he has to worry about that anytime he does a string, whether he wants to fish or not. And then we have this shit right here. So it is a trend in this game that everyone kind of has this mirrorless launcher that's 2 hits in this game. This is like a design trend they obviously wanted to have in the game, and I think that's fine. I actually like that everyone has this kind of universal 2-hit launcher string thing going on. But his is the worst because of the fact he's not good enough at everything else he does to back it up. And the other problem is there's just no mind game here. So I'm going to record the string being finished. And I'm going to record it into down back 2. And then I'm going to try staggering it. Okay. So turn these all on. Reset and playback. Random hidden. See if I can. I think this might be bugged already. This training mode is so awful. So like I almost could react there. Like if you're looking for this, if you're like really looking for this, like this is all, and I'm not saying like there's no mental stack here, I'm pretty sure, if you really train your reflexes. So, let's see if I can get it. Like in flawless block the stagger, he used to commit to death spin to maybe blow you up. So what I'm doing is I'm letting go of block every time I see the forward 3 and then hitting block again. And like you can option select doing this. Or you can flawless block it. So his mid sucks. Like it's really bad. Cause like once again, a lot of people say, but he gets good damage off this dog. He gets damage, he gets damage. No, he doesn't get damage. So, if you have no cameo and no bar, this is what you get. You get 365 damage. Smoke is getting like about 40 for the same thing. If I go pick Smoke right now and I do his 3-2, B&B without cameo or bar, it's going to do nearly 40. That's pretty terrible, especially on a character that has a higher chance of hitting you and a higher chance of whip punching you. I do not understand what they were thinking when they made this character. So the other thing about this character is that he can't even jail half the time. So good duck, right? So he's down 3. Can't jail stand 2 off it, right? Which leaves you to do this, your shittiest string that you have. Now down 1. He doesn't even jail, as you can see. Like it's very hard to. It almost feels like MK11 on Launch Scorpion in terms of trying to jail off your down 1 and shit like that. But even that, you don't have a mind game here with this. So, yeah, you can jail 2-1 off down 1 if you're like on point. And then you can like, you know, throw or you can mid them, right? But the reward is so low. Like, even if you manage to get them opened up, Like, once again, I'm not using cameos, but like you can add about an average like 5 to 7% damage when you include cameos in this, and then bars kind of like all over the place, I guess. But yeah, this character just doesn't have a lot going for him. I think it's way too easy to flawless block Deathspin and Cyrax right now, so I don't consider that an option. The best cameo for this character I've found is Kung Lao so far. So there's a few reasons for that. First of all, Kung Lao allows you to combo off back forward 4 even from full screen. So if you do this, let's see if I can do this. So you get a combo from full screen anywhere if they get clipped by back forward 4. And even if not, you're actually plus when you do this. So if I do like this, I mean, they can try to reversal out, as you can see, but like, then you can play mind games with it with block stun. So there's that. You can also do the same thing with this, like, they'll try going for the punish, and then you call and Kung Lao, you dodge the punish and with punish them in the jump-in state, for example. That happens a lot with this setup. Obviously, having the low hat zoning is like really good with this character because the one jump that gives you a lot of free back twos. But I don't know. The biggest weaknesses of this character to me are he's too meter reliant for damage. And I think he gets blown up by microduck too. I think microducking kills this character. In my opinion, he needs like a solid threatening check against microduck attempts so that you don't have to only rely on committing to this and swinging for the fences. Like, no other character has to do this shit. It's crazy to me that, like, he's the only character that has a 2-hit launcher string that's this unsafe, theoretically. Now, technically, if you want to be a god, you can hit stun, option select this on block with a cameo. So, like, I can go, as you'll see here, I'll be able to I even screwed this up. Like, this is hard to do. It's possible. But, like, it's, yeah, you have to drill that forever. It's not worth it. Like, I just don't know what they were thinking when they designed this character. So, I think he's too resource hungry for damage. I don't think he has enough options as a character to justify how dry he is. And, unfortunately, he's in a spot where I feel like he has to be made even drier to be good. So, I do want to talk about, like, what would make me want to play this character over Smoke. What could they do to fix that about this character? Very first thing I would do with this character is I would make it so that down back 2 in the air, one time only is considered a launcher state without spending bar. That's the first thing I would do with this character. Because right now, he has to do this just to do damage that other characters do without spending bar at all. Right? And that's not even including, like, maybe doing something like this. That would put him more at the damage median of this game if he could one time do down back 2 and it counted as a meterless launcher in the air. Like if you could do this, and it pops them up a little higher. That's the first thing I would do to this character. Second thing I would do to this character is, because other characters are doing the same shit with no risk, I think back 3 has to be safe. It doesn't have to be like single digit minus. Like, you can make it negative enough. Sorry, I'm tired. That you have to space it out for it to be safe. So like if you did it out here, you can make it like -10. But as of right now, no matter how well you space this shit out, it's let me turn the reversal off here. No matter how you space this out, it's -19. There's so many characters that are punishing this. Even at like absolute tip range, let me see if you can get that to go. Yeah, it's -19 no matter where you are. So I would give this at least variable frame data depending on where you hit it. Like, obviously, if you do it up close like this, you should die, right? But you should at least be rewarded for having the positioning to space this out, in my opinion. I would make this like -10 or 11 if it's blocked at max range, for example. Now, my last thing that I would say that this is the most controversial change for this character, but I think it's mandatory if he's going to be like worth using at all. I think 4-3-2 needs to be a double mid, bro. I know this breaks the rule of every mirrorless launching string in this game. Every one of them is a mid-high. Mid-high or low-high. But I think for this character, it's got to be a double mid. He's too dry. He doesn't have any dirt whatsoever. He's only meant to be this keep-out character, right? And the thing about keep-out characters, or like turtles, is they have to have good defensive options. Well, if you get a double-hitting safe mid launcher, that would definitely cut it. It would make it threatening to mash on him or try to pull any funny shit when you're negative against him, because he could just like retaliate with this at any time and blow you up for like 40%. So that is maybe a controversial change, but it is one I would make. I would make it so that if I would make it so that this is a double mid. Frame data stays exactly the same, and you can leave the gap in there, but make it a double mid, a safe double mid. And then that would kind of help him, in my opinion, with that sort of thing. It would help him, in my opinion, if he was able to do that. Now, one more thing I would do with this character, though. I think 1-2-2. For the risk you take in doing this shit, because this is death on flawless block right now. Let's double check that I'm right, but I believe it is. Yeah. It's -13. So, at least give me plus frames if this isn't flawless spots, Doug. Give me like +6 or something. +6 or +7 with a pushback. So that at least I'm in an advantageous state. This still isn't advantageous. Like, you need to have like +5 or more in this game because of block dashing and the way it affects ranges on normals. So that's another thing, is I think if you do this string and they're asleep at the wheel and they don't flawless block this, you should get really rewarded somehow. Because this being -13 on flawless block for only -3 is never worth it. You're never going to do this, bro. This is terrible. And then, one more thing I would do. I think this move should be 5 or 6 frames faster. 26 and 25 frames start up instead of 31. Because right now, this is obviously meant to be sort of a zoning / anti-zoning tool, and right now it's not usable. Because if you ever do this in neutral, no matter what kind of mental stack you have built up on your opponent, which this character cannot do that, he has no mental stack meta whatsoever, they will just jump this and full combo you every time. And it's the reward is not such that it's worth it to spend a cameo to cover you doing this in neutral. It's just not. So yeah, so those are the things I would do. I would say 122 should be +6 or 7 on block if it's not flawless blocked. You can keep it punishable if they flawless block it, but there needs to be a reward here. Make 4-3-2 a double mid. Make down back 2 in the air. Give you 1 instance of a launching state. Like, it doesn't matter to me, like, if they fall to the ground like this, you fall with them. But even then, I might even suggest that you should be able to do the jump and cancel from this without spending bar. And that all you should get as a reward for doing this is more damage. Which I think it already does anyway, right? Okay, no, but... like, I wouldn't do this effect, but, like, if you just make it so that you are in a jump-in state stationary here, coming down, that would be quite a bit for this character. Like, his hit confirming would be worth it. And then I would make back 3 safe if spaced out. I'm talking, like I said, maybe, like, -10 or 11 if you do it from out here. But I think he needs those changes. I would like him to be usable, but like I've talked to Averk, I've seen Xander talk about this character, like, he is just garbage. This character has no redeeming qualities compared to anyone else. Like, if you go into the top 10 characters and you try to tell me something that one has over the other, you'll just lose in that department, because I guarantee you there is nothing of value. There's nothing of value to be seen here. Like, I'll go with one of his other best cameos, I think, which is Goro, probably. Show you, for example. So Goro, for example, allows you to do, like, this. Hey, you're +10, +9, whatever. And that's jail. This is jailing, right? But Goro is underwhelming otherwise, right? Like, even if I try to do like this, I only get to be 0 at most compared to, like, Cyrax. Oh, that might work. Yeah. And sometimes the frame data is not consistent on doing that, by the way, those cancels. So that doesn't work for him. In order to combo with this cameo, he has to do, like, a ton of side switching, because the launcher for Goro switches sides, which is a little annoying. And you don't even do that much damage in exchange for getting this. Like, I don't even know this adds any benefit to Scorpion at all. So, those are the things I would do. Not trying to overbuff anyone. Not trying to, like, break this character, but I just don't think he's good enough. And, like, you know, as a competitor, it's your responsibility to learn how to adapt and overcome things, right? But it is the developer's responsibility to make the game as diverse as possible and to make as many characters as viable as possible to increase the overall enjoyment of the game. And trust me, it does do that the more viable your characters are. I don't want the broke nature of the game to be removed from it. I really like the power level and everything in this game. But the real problem is just characters that just don't have the same kind of power going for them. Like for example, if you made my change where he could get a mirrorless extension right here, this would also make his air-to-air game even scarier. This would make the idea of him being this defensive character that can really punish you from jumps stand out more. But I'm otherwise confused as to what to do. I definitely think forward 3-2 needs to be a double mid, and I definitely think the back 3 has to be safe if you space it out. If you don't do anything to this character, those two changes are what need to happen, for sure. But I'm curious what you guys think. I'm pretty disappointed because, once again, his design in this game is pretty cool. But man, it just looks like they gypped Scorpion again. And I'm not putting myself through that again. If he ever gets buffed in any significant ways, I'll be happy to play him. Because I do want to. But man, I have tried. I've gone to Combat League. I've played private sets against friends and people that you and I may both know in the scene. And like, this character is just not workable, dude. Especially like at the highest level, no one's going to use this character at ECT, bro. No one's gonna try to play through an ECT bracket using fucking Scorpion. Like, you gotta be fucked up if you think that's even gonna go anywhere. So, yeah, that's my thoughts about Scorpion right now in the game. I want to know what you guys think about this character, and if you agree with me and what you would do. I do want to make one more suggestion I just thought of that probably would help. If Raiden's going to be allowed to have shit like this, then Scorpion needs to at least be able to have a safe EX death spin. Make this shit like -6 if you need to burn it. Please. Like, I'm actually begging you, NRS. Give this move a reason to exist. If you, if you do that, if you let me do this and I get safety on block for doing it, for spending the bar, that would be cool. Anyway, that's my opinion so far. I'm sorry that Scorpion sucks again, but man, he really sucks in this game. He might be worse than MK11 Scorpion, compared to the game they're in. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Catch you later. But I do want to hear your thoughts.